Hey folks, welcome. I am John Najarian, and this is 3 at 3. And as you know, every business day I bring you unusual option activity at approximately 3 p.m. Eastern Time, so you still have a full hour to trade it. Well, today I'm going to give you 3 at 3. I'm also going to update you on Twitter, but as far as slides, I was out running around and trading virtually all day. So I don't have the slides today. So you have to put up with my ugly mug. But I just thought it was important to highlight Twitter because we had 2 days over the past 2 weeks of very heavy option activity in Twitter. TWTR, of course, Elon Musk steps up, puts $3 billion down into Twitter. And as you guys understand, that means that there's a new boss in town because Vanguard was the highest percentage owner. I think for a variety of accounts, Morgan Stanley was right up there, and the usual suspects as far as things like Blackstone and things like that, they were in there too, as far as big shareholders of Twitter. But nobody's bigger than Mr. Musk. And you put him together with an activist, and they could toss the stupid board in this company and maybe make them adhere to a little more American sort of free speech model, which they have been sorely lacking of late. So I applaud the move. 28% to the upside, pushing the stock through 50. It's been as high as 51.37 today. The turnover of shares, 235 million. Normal is 19 million shares. 19 million shares is the average, and we're doing 235 million today. So what strikes were they buying? Glad you asked. They were buying the 44 strike in May. They were also buying June calls that have even longer for something to play out. And by the way, Twitter has put up some huge numbers today, trading, I think, over 1.4 million option contracts. So you guys get the idea. There's a lot of activity. There was a lot ahead of the takeover. Not takeover, I misspoke. My apologies. Ahead of the passive Mr. Musk getting involved. He claims it's a passive. I don't believe that for a second. I think he's going to go full-on activist eventually with this. But you have to declare something when you buy as much as he's bought. And he checked the box, I guess, for passive. We'll see, folks. But those the 44 calls in May, as you know, the right to buy it at 44 when it's trading at, let's say 51 is worth $7, I'm sorry. So the regular May expiration, which would be the 20th of May, that's the strike they were buying, May 20th, 44s today have traded up to what is our high print on the day right now. They're trading $9 right now. I believe they've traded up a little higher than that. Turnover today, 5,400 shares. High of the day, 940. So they were buying them for up to $1.20. So this means about nearly an 8-fold increase, which means that since they bought 13,000 of these, this is a big trade, big profitable trade. I'll retweet that right after the show so you can see it in case you missed my tweet earlier. Now, as far as some fresh meat, because that's kind of in the rear view mirror, what's already happened. Let's take a look at the materials select spider, which have been on a heck of a run. Somebody steps up and buys 4,000 of the puts. The stock's trading 88.90. They buy the April 88 puts, 2-week out puts that are just below where the market is right now. So is that a protective put? Very possibly. Is it a bet we go lower? Also very possibly. The trade was above the open interest, so we know these were fresh opening trades on these puts. So we bring it to you as a either protective or bearish bet for the XLB. B, that is the materials spider. All right, let's take a look at, let's see, how about RAD, R-A-D, RAD, R-A-D. This is Rite Aid. It's a drugstore chain that competes against the giants like CVS and Walgreens. But RAD, they're buying January puts way out into the future. Does that mean somebody's betting on a bankruptcy out of this? No, it probably is the trade that somebody is putting on because maybe the swaps are getting a little too expensive. So instead, they're buying a put way out there so they can still hold the same positions. Now, the stock's trading 860. So why somebody would be buying a put that is more than $5 out of the money at $3, that kind of tells me everything I need to know. I don't believe this is a bet on bankruptcy. I bet it is a bet that some of the swaps are getting a little expensive in this name. All right, let's take a look also at, let's see, is that, that's not really big enough. Let me do one that Pete did earlier today. Let me go back to KTOS, to one that I've done before. KTOS, this is defense play. Cybersecurity as well as real defense contracts. And believe me, cyber is real. But I'm saying these guys, KTOS, they bought 8,000 of the April 2250 calls. That's a pretty big purchase, 800,000 share equivalent. I like it. I'll follow it. And I'm in KTOS April 2250 calls. The stock was just over 21 when they did it. So I bought the 21 strike and intend on selling higher against it if we rally there. Bang. That's the way it works, folks. As far as Twitter, love it. As far as these other three stocks, love it. Rolled up in Twitter, by the way, because of that huge activity. So I took profits off the table and I rolled up to the 50 strike. And I will intend on selling higher strikes against it because that kind of activity is not just short covering, especially on the option side. That tells me people are betting that perhaps this company might get its mojo back, at least a little. So I'm still in Twitter, took profits off the table at that 44 strike, have moved all the way up here now to 50 out in June. I am John Najarian. I thank you guys for joining me today. I'll be on the halftime tomorrow. I'll be updating unusual activity as well as, of course, the 60-second video early on in the morning. Bang! I'll see you then.